Hey everybody, Mario here. Today I wanted to discuss which supplements I'm currently taking. I'm in the last phase of my transformation, which is focused especially on leaning down. So hence, why I'm using some of the products I'm going to be showing you today, and why I think also that they may benefit you or not based on where you are in your transformation. And of course you got to take into your current into account your current level of health, and if you have any sort of deficiencies or diseases, then definitely consult with your GP before using any of these products. If you're interested in them, you could get them from and learn more at web.isogenics.com. I'm an independent associate of the company, and these products are only sold through independent associates. So you'd be doing me a favor, and at the same time, I'll support you in your journey. Okay, so Natural Accelerator. I like that Isogenics names their products basically after what the product is or does. Most of them are as such. So Natural Accelerator is basically something that just assists to boost your metabolism, basically getting you to a thermogenic state where you're able to burn fat efficiently through cardio, and of course, through dieting that complements it as well. So inside you'll find things such as cayenne, green tea. It's not filled with caffeine like a typical sort of fat burner that's basically doing the job for you, and literally burning fat for you without actually doing any work. There's side effects to that. There's adverse side effects. So you don't want to have any of those long-term side effects, and you don't want to have any of the short-term effects either. Like the jitters, for example, is a big one. When you take in something that equates to like 40 cups of coffee, then of course you're going to be shaking. It's going to make you nervous. It will put you in a bad mood. You could potentially get into arguments with your spouse over something silly. It's just honestly, I think fat burners are ridiculous. I think it's not something. I think it does have its place, but by the same token, it's not something that's going to give you long-lasting results. Okay, so something like this is very good for you. Of course, it's not as potent as a typical fat burner, but it does facilitate the body, and it's not just placebo. You really feel the difference. You feel like it's assisting the body in leaning down. Sometimes you do those cardio workouts and it's just, you feel like you didn't get any sort of result. This helps with that. So that's the first product. There's 60 capsules, so I could take 2 of these per day, one in the morning, one around midday, and I'll be good to go. I wouldn't take it before bed because there is a little bit of caffeine in there, and it might keep me up. So protein. Protein is something that I mention often to my clients, to people that I communicate with regarding any sort of muscle building or fat loss goal. It's the base of what you need in terms of supplementation. Most people are not getting in enough protein in their diet. Keep in mind it's good for fat loss also because it helps boost your metabolism if you have more muscle. So you want to preserve as much muscle as possible, and if you can, grow in that regard as well. So this one's called Isopro. It's got a little name, Isopro, but it's still called Isopro plant-based protein. That's part of the name as well. Once again, they're using, what the product is as a title. And it is a vegan protein. I like combining vegan proteins with animal-based protein, just because I find it so cool that you're combining something that's so different yet produces very similar results, and maybe getting those little nuances, those little differences that you wouldn't get from one. It complements the other, and I just want to ensure that my body's getting that, and having done so in the last week or so, I feel the difference. I honestly do. It's not, of course, like someone that would be taking steroids or anything like that. The results are not so dramatic, but it's there. I feel like they complement each other well, even in terms of digestion. I feel great. If I take too many of these per day, if I take like 3 or more shakes per day, then I'll feel constipated. I think vegan-based proteins do that. It's a very kind of dense protein, and Yeah, just and also I could mention that you don't need as much actual protein from vegan-based protein as you would in animal-based protein, as long as it has a complete acid profile, which this one does, and it does have that because it's got two types of protein, which is pea protein and brown rice protein. If you were to have only one of those, it would have been incomplete, but the two together complete the amino acid profile. Basically, it makes it equivalent to something like a whey protein isolate. But it's healthy and great for vegans and great for anyone, really. So I like to combine it with animal-based protein, and which leads me to my next one. Let's see here. Okay, this one's called Isagenix Amped Tri-Release Protein. I find it interesting, that they named it, tri-release protein, just because a lot of companies, will have a sort of tri-release system in, basically base their protein powder on this similar type of ingredient profile, but I think it's good to kind of almost educate people through branding, and I think it's that's something I want to mention actually right now. It is interesting because a lot of people don't realize that when you take, for example, whey protein isolate, which is like huge, with all bodybuilders practically take it, and so many athletes, and they think, they're getting in enough protein, and whey protein isolate, there's nothing that comes close in terms of the not just the amino acid profile, but the quality of the protein, and the fact that it's animal based, it's going to give you something more robust, or something like that. There's, I wouldn't say there's lies in that, but there's deception in a way in that. But a lot of most people are ignorant to this fact that you need a slow release protein as well, and isolate is a very quick release protein. Basically goes into your muscles very quickly, but then you're not feeding your muscles for the 2, 3, 4 hours that follow before you get your next meal or snack, or shake. Okay, so how do what should you complement it with? Well, whey protein isolate can be complemented with egg white protein or egg whites in general, and that's a slower release protein. A lot of bodybuilders back in the day used to have egg whites right before bed because they knew that it just slowly feeds the muscles throughout the night. So it's basically like your muscles are always being fed. In the morning, they would wake up looking just as good as they did before they went to bed, and that's a good sign with this protein too. I find it gave me that reaction, let's say, so quickly, like, and it's maintained that over the last week or so. So in the morning, I look the same way I did in the evening, and most people tend to look better in the evening than they do in the morning. Oddly enough, you almost look more bloated sometimes in the morning. Muscles don't look as full, but this, helps in that regard. And I think it's because of the slow release protein, which is coming from egg white protein, and the third protein, the hence tri-release. They actually have one that's even slower, and I'm surprised they went with this just because it's a kind of fattier protein. But I understand their thought process behind this. They really wanted something that would sustain the muscles for hours after someone would take something like this. So and that's milk protein. So there's a little bit of milk protein, and if you're worried about being bloated and getting fatter or something like that, keep in mind it's negligible. And Isagenix spends a lot of time trying to develop products that are very low lactose and very healthy, and they go to great lengths to create a quality product. And I've only heard good things about these products. There's a lot of people that complain about maybe the compensation structure or something like that, but rarely do they ever complain about the company itself, the leadership team, or any sort of management issues or whatever, anything to do with the manufacturing of the products. And that's another one. Like, everybody seems to always have something good to say, even if they were previously independent associates of Isagenix. They'll always say, like, well, the products were great, the products were really good, but I didn't like the compensation structure. So that's just that's something that is my concern, not of your concern. And at the same time, even if you're an associate of the company, I mean, there are so many different weight types of companies like Isagenix in terms of their profit model, but at the same time, like they're all different, but at the same time, like it's negligible. Like the difference is so small. What I would be concerned with as someone that runs my own business is actually the bottom line of selling the products, and that's what I'm interested in more than anything. Not interested in building some sort of downline or anything like that, as much as it's something that of course would help me. That's not my main focus. If I focus on that, I've failed, because really the products are what any company is about. Ultimately, it's the end user, it's you guys, and I have to say this is a great product, and I like that they considered using slow release proteins in it, and I think that's why they're so excited about it, and I am as well. So great product there. The only other product, so I've got the natural accelerator, helping assist with fat burning, leaning down. I've got the vegan protein complemented with the animal-based protein, and that's like the foundation of what I need to get the results, the more sort of superficial results. I will be putting out another video talking about some kind of almost like lifestyle products I'm using to complement that, just for general health. I mean, I am in my 40s now, not 20 anymore, and something that just helps me focus better. And I'll get into those products in another video, but this is for the sort of muscle building, bodybuilding diehard fans. I wanted to just mention those products. And there's so many, keep in mind, there's so many products you can take, like post-workout products. I think Isagenix has one as well, but you really, like, for example, like a lot of trainers prescribe gummy bears to their clients. Following a workout, they need to have a handful of gummy bears. The reason is that after a workout, you need, especially a weight training workout, you need any sort of muscle building workout, you need to replenish your sugar even more so than the protein, because your body basically, if it doesn't get in sugar following a workout, the sugar basically was used throughout your workout. It was converted into energy and you used it for that purpose. And if you don't replenish it, your body starts to attack the muscle. It basically becomes almost like cannibalizing itself. So to avoid that, you need to take in some sugar, and that's why a lot of trainers say just have some of these gummy bears following a workout. I find that's a little bit silly, because typically after a workout, if you're doing what you should be doing, beyond having a quick kind of solution to a very small, not small problem, but something that's can be easily fixed, you would basically have a full meal, or whether a meal replacement shake or a complete meal. So following your workout, and if you do that, you're going to get plenty of sugar. You really, a yogurt cup with a little bit of fruit in it is already like more than enough sugar. So whether it's that or some honey, I mean, there's so many things you can have that are healthier for you than gummy bears. So I never understood that, but either way, I was mentioning about post-workout supplements. Post-workout supplements are basically, something that it allows you to get in the sugar without the side effects of sugar that are bad for you. So, something that might, prohibit you from burning fat efficiently. So they're trying to do it in a natural way, trying to extract basically the bad part of the sugar, let's just say, but still allowing you to get the sugar you need to not get into that state of your body cannibalizing itself. So, but like I said, as long as you're having a meal or a meal replacement shake, or a shake combined with some, like a banana and some yogurt, then you're gonna, regular protein shake with like a banana and some yogurt to basically create a meal, sort of like a hybrid between a meal replacement shake and just food-based meal. If you're getting those, you don't need a post-workout. shake. So that's why I don't even take one. And what did I want to say? Oh yeah, I wanted to just mention that there you see, for example, I have also some bars. The bars, I'm in a leaning down phase right now. So this is empty. I'm not going to be getting any more of these for a while. I need to make sure that I stay lean. I'm already eating enough through the certain meals I'm having, food meals, and I don't want an additional meal. I think it's going to be a little bit hard on my stomach. It's going to be harder on my digestive system than even taking supplements. And supplements has its effect as well. You know, if you take in too many supplements, it's not good for your liver. Your liver has to filter through all these powders, and it could be hard on your system. But even in terms of digestion, it's not the best thing. But to take in too many supplements, powder-based supplements, but eating too much is not good either. And for me, that's actually been my problem recently, and especially in this leaning down phase, I don't want to eat too much. So the bars, they're good to have for convenience. If you're not going to be eating for 5-6 hours, then for sure in between that time, if you could find 5 minutes to just have a little bar, and maybe you're on the road and that's why you can't prepare a shake or any sort of meal, then a meal replacement shake can come in handy, and I recommend it. The ones they have here, they have some vegan-based ones if you're vegan or prefer that. This one is Undenatured Protein. It's from whey protein concentrate, I believe. Isagenix is big on using whey protein concentrate, unlike in the tri-release protein that has isolate. They're big on concentrate proteins as well, and the reason being, kind of like looking at an egg, where the yolk is today considered healthy. For a while it was considered unhealthy. There are some nutrients in the yolk, for example, as an analogy or an example to show the contrast. The yolk in an egg offers some nutrients that you won't find in the egg whites, and a lot of people are learning this. Back in the day, bodybuilders ate whole eggs and they looked fantastic, they looked great, they had plenty of muscle, and they were, if anything, healthier than the bodybuilders today, so especially the unnatural ones. So in any case, undenatured protein, whey concentrate, like I was saying, it had kind of like an egg. There's some nutrients found in the milk that are good, that don't need to be filtered out, let's say. If they're filtered out, it might be a leaner kind of product and assist you with leaning down a little bit, but it's going to be more superficial results. If you want something more long-term and you want to have proper digestion, then whey concentrate is maybe a better option than even whey isolate. So it's just a different take on similar kind of things. So in any case, Isoline bar, pretty good, very dense bar. You're getting the amount of protein that's on the box, written on the box, 18 grams in this case. It's not like you see some protein-based products that in bar form that you eat them and they feel almost like hollow. It's like eating a chocolate bar or something like that. Like there's nothing in there. There's no protein in there, or hardly. So they're either lying or they're maybe skimming on the product. Like they maybe say there's, either way they're lying. They might mention there's 24 grams of protein, but the bar is not dense at all. There's nothing there. It's a small little bar. It's impossible. This bar, you're getting those 18 grams of protein. If anything, it maybe has even a little bit more, I'd say, than 18 grams. It just feels like a meal replacement, even if they don't tout it as such. So Isoline bars are kind of like their version of a meal replacement. And I think the reason why Isagenix doesn't use that term is because, as much as, we want to replace food with supplements at times, I think they're starting to use that also in their branding. And they've always been, interested in kind of creating a balance between what's really necessary and what's convenient, let's say. So food is your foundation, and it remains as such. supplements. It's just to supplement your diet. So I think Isagenix recognizes that. I like that they're not just saying, just use our products and you don't need to eat anything else. And I think that's why they went with not calling it a meal replacement bar anymore. They used to, I believe, not anymore. So if you want a full meal, you actually eat a complete meal. You eat food, But this is the closest thing to eating a healthy meal. It really is. They've got their fiber. They've got everything in here. It's a really quality product. Low sugar profile, so not overly sweet. Isagenix is great with that. The products are not. The products taste good, and it all comes from natural ingredients, no artificial colors, sweeteners, nothing like that. So in any case, I didn't want to just talk about the company. I wanted to talk mostly about the products and why I use them, and being in this stage, these are the products I would use. And of course, it would change a little bit if I was just interested in building muscle and bulking up. And that's coming up. That's coming up in around January, I'd say. January, February actually is when I'm going to really start bulking up and focusing on mass building. So for a few months. So in any case, that's it. If you're interested in the products, once again, veb.isagenix.com. You get I believe you have like 2 or 3 months or so to benefit from a coupon that gives you a free shaker bottle when you sign up. It's got the built-in grill that you might see there to break up the protein. So you don't need anything else, just water and protein. Some people I know like to use pineapple juice and to spruce up the shake, make it taste a little bit better. Of course, if you're interested in leaning down, then it might not be the best option. I usually mix water with all the shakes, and they all taste good. The vegan protein in particular, go with chocolate if taste is a big concern of yours. It is, it goes down a little easier. It tastes like a meal replacement shake.